YouTube. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob. And it's a beautiful day today. And it's probably close to about 10 o'clock. 78 degrees. Finally. A day worth getting up to. Having my truck coffee on the swing and sitting here looking at a package sitting on my front porch. And this thing must have sprout wings because I just paid for it 3 days ago. So it is, well, I see a box. I don't know if that's what's in it or not. Hell, for all I know, somebody could probably be sending me a bomb just because they hate me. Anyway, it's supposed to be my Yong Heng air rifle compressor. Now, if you guys remember, I've done tried this once and ended up buying a cheaper brand, and it finally took a crap on me the other day, and that was the day that I made the live, well, the day before I made the live feed or live stream video, and it took a crap on me. So it lasted for 3 years. But if you guys remember, the last time I did a video and tried the Yong Heng air compressor, I was not impressed. It came to me all busted up and crushed. This one here, it's not starting off good right from the get-go from looking at the box. And I'm just hoping and praying that this is not going to be a repeat of the last video I did on the Yong Heng air compressor. If this is a repeat, this will not be a good review for Yong Heng, I can promise you that. So without any more rambling, I'm going to finish my coffee and we'll get right to unboxing it. I have not touched that box. I walk around it, and I'm not going to touch that box until it's on a camera. So as soon as I get done with my coffee and my cigarette, we'll get right into it. Alright guys, me and Trump are done having our coffee together, and here's what we got. This is exactly the way I found it. I have not moved it one bit, and we've got 2 holes in the side that look like they've been really punched hard. That one there, I can stick my finger in it that far. About an inch. That one there is just punctured right there. I can't even get my whole fingernail in it. And then we've got this hole up here at the top that is about that deep. So hopefully it hasn't reached the compressor. And this side is unmolested. This side's got a big scratch down the side from here all the way down to here, so that's been hit. I'm telling you, this thing had a rough trip. So now we're going to flip it and look at the bottom. Oh my God, we got a hole right here in the bottom. Let's hope that that hasn't gotten anywhere near the compressor, and it's busted right here all the way across. This was delivered by FedEx. Alright, so now let's go ahead and start taking this thing apart. First thing I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull these end caps here, or corner caps, off, and this should slide up off of there. So now I'm going to slide this over. Oh my God, these things are heavy. Ugh. So we're just pull these staples out. On all the corners. They did a good pack job. We hope. We won't know until we get it open and see. Now we'll slide that up off of there. And we got cardboard on top. And now we're going to look down inside of it. So we've got our rubber hose. And this is a lot better shaped than the hose I got from my other one. The other one was so wrinkled up you couldn't even use it. Alright, and then we've got your filter, your temperature sensor or gauge, new filters, O-rings, crankcase filter, and I still haven't never figured out what these screws here are for, these thumb screws. And you got your hose. Alright, then we've got your pump. And we've got two more pieces of styrofoam. And we've got the owner's manual. Alright, so let's see if we can get this up out of there. I'm going to have to put you on a tripod before I can pull that up out of there. I don't know why they didn't put the gauge in it for me. Man, that's a tight fit. Oh. They did a really good pack job. I will say that. So now we're done with the box. All right. And then it's got a label that says warning. Attention, please replace this one with or 1-2 breathing rod before compressor starts. So basically we got to put oil in it. So we'll go ahead and take that off. Got an O-ring. And then take this, put the O-ring on it. And that goes in there just like that. So this is just a plug for transportation. Then we have our temperature probe that goes in it. And I hope I don't have to take this case apart to do that. So I believe, let's turn this around so you guys can see what I'm doing here. There's an opening here on the other end, so we'll just feed that through. We gotta have to put a battery in it first. I wonder if they supplied batteries with this. It's not looking good. I don't think they gave you any batteries for this. For real? They didn't give me no batteries for it. There ain't no batteries in this. So I can't put that in until I find batteries for it. It don't even tell you what size battery to put in it. So I guess they leave that to guesswork. So it doesn't say what battery to use. So yep. Let's see if it's in the pump box. I highly doubt. Yep. Well, there's your pump. No batteries. Come on, yong, heng. Really? Why is it these days that when you buy something new, you have to go buy more stuff to get everything on it to work properly? I don't get that. That makes no sense to me. So, yeah, there's no batteries in this. There's no batteries in this. No battery in the box that it came in. No batteries in the pump box. So let's see if the directions will tell you what size batteries you need. Yep, it ain't showing me nothing about that gauge. Temperature gauge. Yep. Wow, no batteries. Yep. That is so messed up. So I'm gonna go see if I have batteries that will work in it. It doesn't even tell you what brand or what size battery to use, what part number the battery is, or anything. So the temperature gauge on mine, it stopped working, so I think the batteries are dead in it, but I might be able to get the number off of my old one, because it's got the same kind of gauge, or temperature gauge. So hopefully it's got a battery in it. The problem with these things is they stay on all the time. They never shut off. So this temperature gauge ought to be set to turn off when you turn the compressor off, but it doesn't. It reads constantly. So naturally it's going to run the battery dead quickly. So that's one thing I would have changed about these air compressors, is the fact that the gauge should go off when you flip the switch off. So anyway, we'll get this thing filled up with oil, and this takes a special synthetic oil, which I do have some left over from my other compressor when I got it. So thank God I didn't have to buy that stuff. That stuff was like almost $30 a bottle. So, and it wasn't a very big bottle. So anyway, we'll get this thing together. I'll try to find some batteries for it, and we'll give her a go and see how she works. But, you know, so far everything looks pretty decent. The last time I got one this year was punched back into this, and this was shifted, and I think one of these was bent. I'd have to go back and look at my old video about this yong heng. And we'll see how she works. Alright guys, we've got it set up. We've moved my fill station into the kitchen, simply because this is where I shoot. And what we did, we used thin film. I'll just let you read it, because I can't understand half them words. This is what's supposed to be used in these, and I filled it up to the line where it's supposed to be. And we're using a stainless steel pot that I've been using for years, and we've put new water in it and got our hoses hooked up to the head, and that head is cold. And I've got my Diana Storm Rider sitting here ready to be filled. It's been needing to be filled, so we're going to go ahead and test it out on the Diana Storm Rider 177. So I found a battery for it. It's not the LR44, but it worked. So I'll probably let you know what the battery I used, and it worked just fine. And right now it's reading 14.7 Celsius. I don't know why people can't use degrees. You know, it's old farts. We're not used to them Celsius. So what I've got is, I took 2 of these filters, and I've got 2 filters in line. I've got this one here that comes straight off of the block. Then we've got it run to another hose, and then to another filter. And the reason for that is so that this one stays lower than the gun. You always want your filter to be lower than the gun so that the water stays there and not travel up the hose. Yes, it's still going to travel up the hose, but not as bad. So I've got 2 in line. And to be quite honest with you, it wouldn't hurt to have a third one in line. But we'll go ahead and hook this up, and it's loud too. All them compressors are loud. So let's see how she works. Alright, so we need to fill it up with some more oil. And I'm getting a lot of oil or air coming out of this hole right here. I don't know if that's normal or not. I never really tested it with the other one. But it's now saying it's low again. So we're going to go ahead and put some more oil in it. But it acts like it's not pumping up. So we'll try this again. It's holding air, so it's got to be pump working. Let's try her again. Alright, I see what the problem is. Dumbass me forgot to put the other plug in. Oh Lord. I was wondering, it didn't seem right. So apparently you have two shut-off valves on this one. My other one only had one. So that was embarrassing. Alright, now it should work this time. So I always start mine with it open so that it doesn't have any back pressure to it. Now it ought to pump up just fine. That was fast. And we are filled. So there you have it. The only reason it wouldn't pump up the last time and it took so long is because if you notice here, I'll pull you down here and let you look. This one has 2 bleeder screws. One on this side and one on that side. Right here. Ouch, that thing's a little hot. We're reading 29 Celsius. But that hose, that line there is hot. But we got 2 bleed off screws. And for them things to be that hot, I don't know if I like these hoses being that close to that, because this one's actually touching. Well, it ain't now, but it's close enough that they need to be rerouted. They should have put a straight one on here to come out this way so that it wouldn't touch these lines, because that thing's pretty hot. That thing burnt my elbow. But there we have it. We've got it filled up with oil to the fill mark. And I filled it up to the mark before when I was out on the porch, and apparently it had to go through some air pockets or something and showed it low again. So now we've got it completely full after it ran, so we should be good. So far so good. So now let's talk about my thoughts on this. It was fast. It's pretty much not much different than the one I had, which my other one looks just like it, except it didn't have all these lines right here. None of these. It didn't have this block on the side, and the gauge was on top of the head. So that's really the only difference between my old one. Let me go get my old one and we'll show you what it looked like. So here is my old one. And they don't look much different from each other. I got that there to keep water's coming out of that head. But this one here, it stopped working on me, and when I opened or took the head off of it, there was little metal pieces in there. I have yet to figure out where them metal pieces came from, but it doesn't work. It probably needs the head rebuilt. So until I can find the parts for it, which I would say is probably the same parts for this one. So I'll rebuild this one and have it for a spare. I've had this one for 4 years. Like I said, they look almost identical. The only difference is the black. It's got a black cover, and it don't have all these other lines. So I would say that these parts are interchangeable. So I might be able to just go get a yong, heng rebuild kit and rebuild this head, and it would be exactly the same as that, except it'd be black. This one here, I did some modifications to it and modified it to where on the inside of these, and I bet you if I take the cover off of this, and my buddy William, he's got a yong heng, and he took the cover off of his, and this is what he found. He found that the capacitor was just dangling in there, laying around, vibrating and stuff. And I noticed that on this one too when I first got it. So I'll show you what I mean. This one here has a spot where you can screw the capacitor into to hold it in place. Well, it wasn't screwed into there. It was just sitting, laying in here dangling. So I fixed that so it would go in there right. But when you did, then you couldn't put the case down on it. The cover wouldn't go all the way down. So I just extended this. And I did a video on that about 3 years ago when me doing this. So if you want to see that, feel free to go look. But basically all it is just I moved this up, drilled a hole right here in the panel. And because this one hole here and this hole here was the original hole. So this one was here and this one was down here where this one's at. So basically I just mounted this up a little higher, and then I took 2 screws and mounted the aluminum right here just for beauty purposes. It really ain't necessary, but it just kept this from being open so that air would be forced to draw from the back through here over across the head. So, but it seems to be working okay, and we're back down to 20 Celsius. The head is cold again. The line is cooled down now. And it wouldn't have got that hot because normally when I ran this, my gun was filled before it even got hot. So I didn't have the bleeder on the other side in, and I thought I heard air, but it's so loud you can't tell. So, but anyway, if I hadn't had the bleeder screw out on the other side, this thing would have been pumped up in a matter of seconds, and it wouldn't have had time to get that hot. So now that I've got it plugged and working properly, I won't have to run it long enough for it to even bother getting hot. So, you know, the only gun that I have that would take a little longer, and that would be the Avenger. All the rest of them take 3,000 psi, and they're pumped up in a matter of seconds. So I'm starting to see a problem with that pump. I do not like those pumps. They should have made a better pump for those. They also should have made them so that you can turn them off instead of reaching underneath there and unplugging it. So we're going to address that also. I'm going to build me a box to put up here on the bench somewhere where I can plug I need light over here anyway, so I'm just going to get me another, well, I'll probably have to build a box, because if I use a strip that's got the switch on it, I don't want to turn my light off when I'm turning my pump off. So I'm going to have to build a box so I have 2 separate switches, one for the box and one for the water pump, and one for the lamp that I'll have over here, or light. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I want to get a lot of light in here. So, but I'm seeing that the pump suction cups do not want to stick to the bottom of that pan when the other one did. So I don't know why it won't stick. It's like the suction cup don't want to work. But anyway, I'm going to end that here, and I hope this was informative and shows you the difference between the two and the similarities between the two. I would venture to say that this is basically a yong heng, just somebody's copy. Or maybe yong heng copy them, who knows? But like I said, the only difference is the lines. So anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Give me some rumble, guys. You guys have a good one. Later. Oh yes, guys, I almost forgot. Thank you very much, Brett Stevens, for reminding me of this while I was editing a video. So I'll just add this to the end of this video and remind you guys that Friday night at 8 p.m. I will be going live on YouTube for Q&A. We will probably shoot for an hour because it takes time for people to get the notification, and in most cases people don't get a lot of notification anyway, so we got to give people extra time to get the notification so they can join the chat. So don't forget, Friday night 8 p.m. If I don't forget, I'm sure somebody will remind me. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there and let you guys know that that's what was going to happen Friday night at 8 p.m.